In our hyper-connected world, data is the lifeblood of the digital economy, but this reliance on data comes at a price. The 2017 Equifax breach stands as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of cybersecurity failures. This breach, one of the largest in history, compromised the sensitive personal information of over 147 million people. The Equifax breach was not merely a technical failure, it represented a systemic breakdown of trust. Consumers entrust companies like Equifax with their most sensitive data. When that trust is violated, the consequences are far-reaching and profound. This breach serves as a cautionary tale for businesses and organizations of all sizes. It underscores the critical importance of robust cybersecurity measures, from timely patch management to comprehensive incident response plans. The lessons learned from the Equifax breach extend far beyond the realm of cybersecurity. They force us to confront fundamental questions about data privacy, corporate accountability, and the delicate balance between innovation and security in the digital age. At the heart of the Equifax breach lay a series of critical vulnerabilities. A known vulnerability in Apache Struts, a popular open-source software framework, provided hackers with an open door into Equifax's systems. This vulnerability, for which a patch had been available for months, was a ticking time bomb. Equifax's failure to patch this known vulnerability exposed a fundamental flaw in their security posture: inadequate patch management. Patches are essential for fixing software vulnerabilities and preventing exploitation. Adding to the problem was Equifax's use of outdated software, some of which was no longer supported by the vendor. Unsupported software lacks the latest security updates, making it an easy target for attackers. This toxic combination of known vulnerabilities, unpatched systems, and outdated software created a perfect storm for disaster. The attackers exploited these weaknesses to gain unauthorized access to Equifax's network, setting the stage for a massive data breach. The attackers exploited the Apache Struts vulnerability to gain a foothold in Equifax's network. Once inside, they moved laterally, exploring different systems and seeking out valuable data. Equifax's lack of adequate internal controls allowed the attackers to operate undetected for months. They roamed freely through the company's network, accessing sensitive data stores and exfiltrating massive amounts of information. The attackers' activities went unnoticed for 76 days, a shockingly long period in the world of cybersecurity. This delay in detection allowed the attackers to maximize their haul, causing significantly more damage. The breach was finally discovered, not through Equifax's own internal security measures, but by an external security researcher. This discovery set off a chain reaction, forcing Equifax to confront the devastating reality of the breach. Equifax's response to the breach was marred by missteps and miscalculations, compounding the problem and eroding public trust even further. Instead of immediately notifying affected individuals, the company delayed disclosure for several weeks. This delay, while intended to buy time for investigation, only served to fuel public outrage and suspicion. It raised serious questions about Equifax's commitment to transparency and accountability. To make matters worse, Equifax's initial attempts at remediation were widely criticized as being inadequate and confusing. The website set up to help victims was plagued with technical problems, and the credit monitoring services offered provided little comfort. Equifax's response to the breach was a textbook example of how not to handle a cybersecurity crisis. Their actions, or lack thereof, only served to deepen the wound and erode public trust in the company. Section 5, the financial fallout, billions lost, trust eroded. The Equifax breach had a profound financial impact, costing the company billions of dollars in lost revenue, legal fees, and remediation costs. The company's stock price plummeted in the wake of the breach, reflecting the loss of investor confidence. Beyond the immediate financial losses, the breach inflicted lasting damage to Equifax's brand and reputation. The company, once a trusted name in credit reporting, became synonymous with cybersecurity negligence. The breach also highlighted the growing financial risks associated with data breaches, sending shockwaves through the business world. Companies began to realize that cybersecurity was not just an IT issue, but a core business risk. The financial fallout from the Equifax breach served as a stark reminder that cybersecurity failures carry a hefty price tag. It forced companies to reevaluate their security investments and prioritize data protection. Section 6. Regulatory reckoning. The government steps in. The Equifax breach triggered a wave of regulatory scrutiny and legal action. Lawmakers and regulators, outraged by the scale of the breach and Equifax's handling of the incident, launched investigations and proposed new legislation. The Federal Trade Commission hit Equifax with a record-breaking $700 million fine for their failure to protect consumer data. This landmark settlement sent a clear message that companies would be held accountable for lax cybersecurity practices. The breach also led to the passage of new data security laws, such as the California Consumer Privacy Act, which gives consumers more control over their personal information and imposes stricter data security requirements on businesses. The regulatory response to the Equifax breach signaled a shift in the regulatory landscape, with governments around the world taking a more proactive approach to cybersecurity. Section 7. Lives upended, the human cost of data breaches. While the financial and regulatory consequences of the Equifax breach were significant, the true cost of the breach is measured in the lives of the millions of individuals affected. For them, the breach was not just a news story, it was a personal violation with potentially devastating consequences. Victims of the breach faced a heightened risk of identity theft and fraud. Their stolen information could be used to open fraudulent accounts, access existing accounts, or even obtain medical care in their name. The breach also took an emotional toll, leaving many victims feeling vulnerable, exposed, and angry. The loss of control over their personal information was a deeply unsettling experience. The Equifax breach served as a harsh reminder that data breaches are not victimless crimes. They have real-world consequences for real people, impacting their finances, their sense of security, and their overall well-being. Section 8. Shoring up the defenses. The importance of timely patching. In the wake of the Equifax breach, it became abundantly clear that timely patch management is non-negotiable in today's threat landscape. Patches are the first line of defense against known vulnerabilities, and failing to apply them promptly is akin to leaving the front door unlocked. Organizations must establish robust patch management processes that include regular vulnerability scanning, timely patch deployment, and verification of patch effectiveness. This requires a combination of automated tools and human oversight. Equally important is creating a culture of security awareness within organizations. Employees at all levels must understand the importance of patching and their role in keeping the organization secure. Timely patching is not a one-time task, but an ongoing process that requires vigilance, diligence, and a commitment to staying ahead of the threat curve. Section 9. A call to action, building a more secure future. The Equifax breach was a wake-up call, exposing the fragility of our digital infrastructure and the urgent need for stronger cybersecurity measures. It's a call to action for businesses, policymakers, and individuals to work together to build a more secure digital future. Businesses must go beyond compliance and adopt a security-first mindset. Investing in robust cybersecurity measures, such as multi-factor authentication, data encryption, and threat intelligence, is no longer optional, but essential. Policymakers have a crucial role in creating a regulatory environment that encourages cybersecurity innovation and holds companies accountable for data breaches. This includes promoting strong data protection laws, fostering collaboration between industry and government, and investing in cybersecurity research and development. Section 10. Beyond the breach lessons for a data-driven world. The Equifax breach offers valuable lessons for navigating the complex world of data security in the 21st century. It underscores the need for a multifaceted approach that encompasses technology, policy, and human behavior. As we become increasingly reliant on data, we must prioritize data minimization, collecting and storing only the data that is absolutely necessary. We must also be mindful of data retention policies, ensuring that data is not kept longer than necessary. In a world where data is the new currency, we must all become more data savvy, understanding the value of our personal information and taking steps to protect it. This includes practicing good cyber hygiene, being cautious about what we share online, and regularly monitoring our credit reports for suspicious activity. The Equifax breach was a watershed moment in the evolution of cybersecurity. It forced us to confront uncomfortable truths about our digital vulnerabilities and the urgent need for a more secure and resilient